why you should get your medical records if you suspect that your injury was due to medical malpractice, or your child's birth injury was due to something that the doctors or the nurses or the hospital failed to do. Want to know what I'm getting at here? Stay with me as I share with you this very important information. Hello, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm a childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorney practicing law here in the state of Maryland, and I would like to quickly talk with you today about the importance of your medical records and why, if you can, you should go ahead and request your medical records if you suspect that your injury or your baby's injury was due to medical malpractice. Now, I'm going to give you two reasons why this is important. And the first one, because you're here watching a lawyer video, I'm going to talk about the legal aspect of the medical records when we are talking about a birth injury or a medical malpractice case, or when we're talking about the analysis on those types of matters. Now, for your cases to be successful, when we're talking about birth injury or medical malpractice, the medical records are really important because they help your medical experts be able to understand whether there was a deviation from the standard of care and whether that deviation is what has caused your injury or the harm. And so when you call or when you speak with a medical malpractice attorney or a birth injury attorney, they are going to want to get the records because that is how the investigation starts. That's, the records are going to be one of the most important foundations for analysis and review. And so if you already have some of the records, or if it's a surgery or a hospital case, if you have the surgical notes, the preoperative report, or the discharge diagnosis, things like that, if you have these things, then it's going to be very helpful for your attorney to hit the ground running to go ahead and to take a look to start that investigation and that analysis. On the flip side, if it's a birth trauma situation, you're going to definitely want to look at, and you suspect that the injury has occurred during labor and delivery, you are going to want to make sure that you get mom's records. You're going to want to make sure that you get the baby's records. You are going to want to make sure that you get the electronic fetal heart monitor, the strips and the readings from the electronic fetal heart monitor. You're going to want to make sure that you have all three of those sets of records, because again, like I said, in the other, the surgery or the medical malpractice side, those records are going to be very important when we are analyzing, again, whether your baby was possibly in fetal distress, and was it properly diagnosed, and was it properly treated, and should an emergency C-section should have taken place. So from the legal standpoint, I'm just kind of giving you a quick synopsis of why the medical records, or how the medical records fit in this initial analysis. Now, that second prong, and this one is very important, why your medical records are important. Well, if you want to get a second opinion as to what you are going through, if you want to get a second opinion, it's going to be helpful if your second opinion doctor has those records immediately to be able to kind of talk with you about what's going on. Now, sure, they're going to be able to request them and get your records. Of course, they're going to be able to do that. But if you already have some of those records, then that can also help your second or third opinion doctor help you understand your current diagnosis or your current condition, and what are possible treatments going into the future. So why have I taken the time today to talk with you about this really important information? Because I'm helping you understand this issue. Because from time to time, we do get individuals who will contact us, and they're not really looking to hire an attorney immediately, but they do want to know what can they be doing in the meantime, just in case if down the line they do decide in the future to get an attorney, or if they decide to go and to get a second opinion. So this video is helping you understand some of the key areas of analysis and why these medical records are important. And if you can afford to be able to get your medical records, go ahead and get them. Also, before I quickly close this video, I want to also let you know that when you are requesting your records, try to make sure that you can get them on CD or on disk or some type of portal, something like that, or an electronic copy, because that can be cheaper for you if you can get them that way versus having all of these reams of paper being printed out. If you have more questions about what's going on, maybe you are here today because you are, just like I said earlier, you're not necessarily wanting to speak with an attorney immediately, but you may have some questions about what you have going on. Maybe your baby has suffered an injury at birth, and those things that I was talking about, the electronic fetal heart monitor, mom's records, fetal distress, baby's records, these things are important to you. If you have more questions, this is what I invite you to do. And remember, taking this next action, it costs you absolutely nothing. And what is that action? Pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832. On the birth injury side, you can also reach me toll free at 1-833-4BABY-HELP. You can also email me at medicalinjury@bostonlawllc.com. Also, if you send me an email, make sure you send me you respond to me on an email address that you do check frequently, because sometimes I get individuals who will email me and they don't check their email, and I have emailed them back. So that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the birth injury and medical malpractice attorneys here at Boston Law Group LLC, and we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.